Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up with Wes. Top of the morning to you. You know, I believe that nothing in life happens by chance. I think everything happens for a reason. So if you're here watching this video this morning, this message was intended for you to see, and I hope that it touches you in the way that it has touched me in my life. I don't know if you realize this, but we are actually three parts in a being, right? I mean, we have the body, we have the brain, and then we have the spirit. That innate spirit, that inner voice, intuition, call it what you will. We go into detail in the 5-week online class, Yes You Can, into these three parts and what they are designed to do and how they work. But I wanted to deal with you this morning is the fact that many of us, we hear that intuition, we hear that inner voice, that spirit, that small inner voice that says, Wes, this is the step you need to take. You need to call this person, or you need to follow up with that person, or you need to go over here and check out this new job. Right? So we hear that desire, drive, right? And it's leading us in the path, the direction, right? Which will take us to the conclusion or to that which we are supposed to do. Our reason, our purpose, correct? But there's another part that jumps in the way, and that's this thing up here on our shoulders, and it's called the brain. Now keep in mind what the brain actually is. My friend, it's a transceiver, it's a decoder. I don't know if you ever given any thought to the fact that when we see, right, when we see, all we are doing is capturing light rays. Light rays are actually entering into our brain through the irises in our eye, I think, or pupils, that's what they're called, right? And that light is reflected off the retina. The brain takes that information, that digital information, decodes it into an image that's presented in our mind to give us a picture of what we view as reality, what we think is real. The same way with these floppy things, these ears, these things on the side of our head that are capturing these auditorial waves or these energy waves enter into our brain through the ears. The brain then takes that information, that frequency, decodes it into something that we can interpret as a sound or as a message, as information. That put together with what we see is how we determine what reality is. But the problem is, this thing called a brain, it stores additional things called beliefs and values, right? Those are things that would have been told to us through information that we have received when we were a youngster from our parents or from that significant other, or maybe from that first grade teacher, or maybe from that partner on the playground that told us we weren't good enough, we'd never be as good as they are. So that information too, as well as our experiences and all the memories, that's stored in this brain. So now what happens? We get this inner voice that says, okay, let's pursue this, or let's call that person. Boom, all of a sudden this brain starts going back and it starts going through all your past history and all your past experiences, trying to find something that can correlate to what your intuition is saying so it can get back a response. Call it the ego, if you will, that part of you that wants to keep God out. Ego means edging God out, right? So now the brain comes back with this message and says, well, you better hadn't do that. Because if you do that, this is what will happen. You know, think about, some of us are stuck in jobs. We've been stuck in a job because through our education period, K through 12, we were told that we were supposed to go out and get a job, a good paying job, become educated, right? So that we can make the business owner more money. And at the end of 40 years, we'll have a nest egg that we can settle down, retire, and live out the rest of our life. That's the way the bulk of people are raised, and that's what they believe. It's all filtered through this thing between our ears called the brain. And it's what stifles that inner drive, that innate spirit that says, you should be doing this because that's what you're supposed to do. But this thing called fear, this thing called beliefs, this thing called pre-programs have stopped in front of you, jumped in front of you, and stopped you dead cold in your tracks. That might be where you're at today. And part of growing up, and we hope that through the 5-week course, Yes You Can, we expose you to enough information to help you understand that a lot of these thoughts, a lot of these beliefs, my friend, they're just an illusion. They're an illusion that is thrown in front of you to keep you from becoming that which you are meant to be, that which you are intended to become, that which you are intended to accomplish. So I encourage you today, give some thought to the thoughts that pop into your mind. And there are ways to overcome those thoughts, and we're going to talk about them in Friday's episode. But I want you to understand that not everything that goes through your mind is true. Give it some thought, right? Really weigh out what is coming into your brain versus that innate spirit, because that innate spirit, that intuition, is always right. Always remember that, my friend. Hope you have a great morning, great afternoon. Have a great week. We'll talk again soon.